This is a worked answer to question 2 in OCR's S1 paper from January 2013. We're given in part 1 of the question, Catherine is allowed 3 attempts at a high jump. If she succeeds on any attempt, she does not jump again. The probability she succeeds on her first attempt is 3/4. So I'm going to denote that as probability of she succeeds on attempt 1, 3/4. If she fails on her first attempt, the probability she succeeds on her second attempt is 3/8. If she fails on her first 2 attempts, the probability she succeeds on her third attempt is 3/16. We have to find the probability that she succeeds, and she's only allowed these 3 attempts. So, to succeed overall, she either passes on the first one, which I'm going to denote as P1, passes on the first one, or she fails the first one, passes on the second attempt, or she fails the first one and fails the second one and passes on the third attempt. Those are the routes that we can go down for her to successfully complete this. Well, passing on the first one, that's 3/4. Failing on the first one is 1 minus 3/4, which is 1/4. Passing on the second attempt is 3/8. Failing on the first one is 1 minus 3/4. Failing on the second one is 1 minus 3/8. Passing on the third one is 3/16. And it's either this route or this route or this route. And for or, we add. And then inside here, it's failing on the first one and then passing on the second one. And is a times. And over here, failing on the first one and failing on the second one and passing the third one, we put multiplications in at that point. And if you work that out, we have 3/4 here. We're adding on here 3/32, and the final term is 15 over 512. And if we add those together, you get 447 over 512, or as a decimal, 0.873. Part 2 of the question, Khaled is allowed 2 attempts to pass an exam. If he succeeds on his first attempt, he does not make a second attempt. The probability he passes on his first attempt is 0.4, and the probability he passes on either the first or the second attempt is 0.58. What we have to do is to find the probability he passes on his second attempt, given he failed on the first attempt. Well, we can think of this very similarly to part A of the question. For him to pass on the first or second attempt, he either has to pass on attempt 1 or fail attempt 1 and pass on attempt 2. And we know that that is the probability of passing on 1 or 2. So that is the same as 0.58. Passing on the first one we know is 0.4. Failing on the first one is 1 minus 0.4. Passing on the second one, which I just call now P, that's the only thing we don't know. So we actually get a little equation here, and to solve that equation, if I take the 0.4 off both sides, I get that, and then if I divide both sides by 0.6, I find out what P is, and that's 0.18 divided by 0.6, which is 0.3, and that is the value of P. The unknown probability, the probability he passes on the second attempt if he actually failed on the first.